All right, I think we are ready. Please let this focus and do what it's supposed to do. All right, I think we're good. I think we're focused. I think we're good. I think we're ready to go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Guys, it makes me so happy to be able to say that. I cannot believe it. I am here. I am married. It's so crazy, guys. Okay, let me try to be calm. Your girl is married. So you would have obviously watched the life update, we're married video with myself and my now husband already. If you haven't, please do go and check it out right now and then obviously come back and watch this. As you can see by today's title, this is just a get ready with me. I haven't done one in a very long time, but I'm very excited to do one and I am going to be answering your questions. So I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me anything. It's my very first Q&A, Instagram Q&A as a wife. It's my very first Q&A since kind of being officially moved, all of that good stuff. So when I say I am excited, I am beyond excited. So let's get cracking. All right, beautiful people, I'm really praying and hoping that the lighting is decent. You guys know that lighting has not been my friend since day one, but here we are. Let me put all this hair back actually. And I swear I had another, yes I do, I got plenty. Anyway, so let me show you guys the amount of questions that we got. We got quite a few, but just while I'm looking for a couple of things, thank you guys so much for all your love, for all your encouragement, your wonderful messages, you know, just the pure love that we have received like since getting married and just about our union. And oh my gosh, I cannot lie to you, it has been insane. So first things first, I want to kick things off with the e.l.f. mineral infused primer. And I'm not a YouTube guru, so I don't know how the hell you make it focus while you're talking behind the camera. Yeah, you get the gist. Why is it that I don't have a mirror? So, kicking things off with some primer. We're just gonna blend it in there. And then hopefully I can start going through some of your questions. So I am gonna go in with the foundation. This foundation, by the way, is my all-time favorite at the moment. It is the Max Founder. So it is the Max Factor Facefinity All Day Flawless 3-in-1 Primer Concealer Foundation in the shade Tawny. And when I say to you guys, this foundation has changed my life. It is honestly one of the best foundations I have ever used, or not ever used. Let me not exaggerate, right? It's just one of the best foundations that I've used in a very long time. So boy, that's all I can say to ya. But this is like my everyday, updated everyday makeup routine. Something you may also notice if you're a real one, you would know that I always did my eyebrows first. I don't do my eyebrows first anymore. And the thing is, I cussed out people who did their eyebrows first. And yet here I am. I do my eyebrows not last, but like I do it in a different order, but you'll see anyway. And it really is 3-in-1, like it conceals, it defines, and it's a great foundation. Let me actually respond to the first one. And I respond to this one purely because I feel like it's probably the most obvious question right now, and that is, how does it feel to be married? Honestly speaking, guys, I love being married. Sorry guys, I'm leaning to the side. Being married so far has been the absolute best. I mean, you get to wake up next to your best friend every single day after years of, you know, waiting to, and why are there all these little hairs to this place? But remember, myself and Ben have been together for 4 whole years. 4 whole years of dating, of getting to know each other, of going through so many different things, whether it be issues or whether it be, you know, family stuff, whatever it is. We have gone through 4 whole years of all of that, and we finally get to, you know, I get to wake up every day with my best friend. I get to wake up every day being like, oh my gosh, like the love of my life is just here next to me, right here, right now. it's the absolute best feeling ever. And I know that nowadays, like, people are very much like, you know, I don't know, marriage just doesn't seem like it's a, you know, a sacred thing anymore. It doesn't seem like people are bothered about marriage or care about marriage anymore. But let me tell you, for all my people that want to get married, it's something so beautiful to look forward to. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I've only been married for what? We've only been married for just over 2 weeks, if that. Yeah, just over 2 weeks. I'm by no means an expert, but one thing that I can say is that it's just the best. It's the best. How does it feel to be married? I love it. I'm loving every moment of it. We get to do things together. We just get to just be us, you know, and really, really be us. I feel like until you live together, and obviously for us, there was absolutely no way we were going to live together until we were married. That's not something that we were compromising on. And again, I know it doesn't seem or feel very popular these days. You know, people are kind of like, what's the point? Just move in, you know, get to know that person before, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, you develop a different type of intimacy when you know, take out certain factors, whether it be sex or whether it be living together. When you move out certain factors that people kind of have determined these days to be the norm, I'm telling you, the level of intimacy that you guys build is insane. So yeah, man, being married is amazing. I love it. I'm enjoying it. I am just loving every moment, and also just having our own space. Like, oh guys, it's the best thing in the world. All right, cool. Next question. What is one thing you feel you do differently in your marriage in comparison to your parents? That is a very, very good question. So I feel like quite a lot of things, actually, because I obviously come from, you know, I was born and raised here. My parents were both what is wrong with my English? Were both born and raised in Congo. So they have a very particular mindset. Like, they're not, you know, lovey-dovey, which obviously is a bit of a generalization, but a lot of Africans who were born and raised in Africa, them romance is not a thing. Like, for them, what is that? What's being all romantical? So I think the biggest difference with, let's say, us, or that I'm choosing to do differently, is to be very, very, you know, romantical and constantly affirming my husband. I did it anyway when we were dating, so it's not something that I find difficult, but constantly affirming him, reminding him that I love him, reminding him that I support him. I put notes in his lunch, so every time, because I sort out his lunch and stuff the day before, and literally the day before when I packed everything, I'll put a note in there just to say something sweet as he goes into work. And those are all little things that my parents never did. Well, at least that's not anything that I know that they did. So sorry guys, I'm literally just trying to find something for my, what do you call it, for my highbrow. But yeah, man, like, for them, all of that stuff is like, what's that? What, you know, just cute things like that. So I would definitely say being more romantic and just really emphasizing that and trying to be loving and, yeah, just as romantic as possible. I definitely think that we're doing that a little bit differently to, like, let's say our parents, because yeah, our parents did, I don't know, let me know, but it honestly feels like an anomaly. Sorry guys, I'll just find this thing. It genuinely feels like an absolute anomaly when like people say, oh yeah, like, you know, my parents are African parents and they were really romantic and all that kind of stuff. That is really, really strange to me. That is not, like, that was not the norm. So to have all that romance business is not the norm. So yeah, that's what I would say we're doing differently. Okay, so somebody said, how are you, like, mentally, because lockdown is tough, man? Well, one thing that I can say is that I'm in a really, really good place. You know, this year has been a tough one for everyone. It's been a weird year. Things have been strange. You know, the pandemic, people passing away. It's been a lot. This has been a really, really tough year. But I can genuinely say to you guys that I'm in such a wonderful place. I mean, I just got married, moved into our beautiful 3-bedroom apartment. I'm literally living with the love of my life. I am able to still generate an income from the things that I love. I cannot lie to you, I don't really have anything to complain about, even mentally. Like, I just really do feel, I just feel blessed, because yes, I know 100% not everyone is in the same position as I am. I am extremely blessed. I know that, you know, this year has been tough, whether it be from Congo's bleeding to NSARS to the elections to, of course, the pandemic. It's been a lot, but I'm in a good place. And one thing that I will say for anyone that's kind of like struggling at the moment, one of the things that's really helped me is me staying busy, you know, staying busy, staying about my business. And obviously I couldn't always be about my business, but I tried to be as much as possible. And when I say I couldn't be always about my business, it was obviously because I was planning a wedding in a pandemic, when, you know, things change every other second, is just a madness. Like, it's just insane. So yeah, you know, but I just try to keep busy. And like, even now, for me personally, I don't feel any different to how I would normally feel, purely because, by the way, I'm going in with the, actually not for my under my brows, I'm going for the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer in the color medium dark warm peach. So I'm just gonna put that on my hand right here. Starting to feel like a little bit like a makeup guru, aren't I? I've really, you know, oh, yes sis. And then I'm gonna mix it in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color 40, just to mix it in a little bit, just to give it a yellowy tinge, because the other one's a bit more of an orangey, reddy tinge. And then I'm going to use, I haven't even been using, you know, one of these for my brows. I've just been using the applicator. Don't know what's been going on there, but let's not do that today. Let me not be bush. But what was I saying? Yeah, just about this year, you know, this year has been crazy. It's been hard, it's been tough, but keeping busy has really, really helped me. Even now, you know, the fact that I've kind of gone full swing back into working, creating content, and what a blessing it is to be able to say that that's my work, you know, that my work hasn't really, you know, the pandemic hasn't really made me feel or do things much differently, because the stuff that I was doing before was online anyway. So, you know, the fact that I can say that is a huge blessing for sure. Okay, so what I would normally do is I would then take my sponge, my beauty blender, and just blend out my forehead, because anybody want no halo effect on the forehead area. So we're just gonna blend out. But yeah, man, I'm very grateful. My family is good. Everyone is well. Everyone is healthy. Everyone is blessed. I'm just thanking God. That's where I am. I'm just in a place of just complete and utter gratitude. That's where I'm at. So for my eyelid, I'm going in with the 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Olive, which I think is a bit too light for me, but hey, we're gonna try it anyway. I love this concealer, by the way. It is one of the best concealers, and it's quite cheap as well. It's like £7 or £8, one of them. It's so, so good. Someone said, what has changed since you got married and before you were married? Lots of love. Thank you so much for your question. What has changed? That is a very good question, you know. Honestly speaking, I was actually talking to somebody and they asked me the exact same question. They were like, you know, what has changed since you got married, blah, 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 blah. And honestly speaking, not all that much. The only thing that has really, really changed is the fact that I get to now live with my husband and we get to be in the same household, rather than having to always do this whole struggle lifestyle, which was, you know, I would have to come and see him or he would have to come and see me, and then I would be driving back at ridiculous o'clock or whatever it is. No, now we live together. There's no, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna drop you back home, or oh, I really wish that we could, you know, just go back home together. No, now it's actually a reality, because we used to say it all the time, especially when we'd be coming back. For example, let's say we've gone to the cinema really late and it's like, you know, past midnight or whatever. It would just be so annoying knowing that like we just were going home to two separate places, especially when we knew we were going to be seeing each other again the next day. That was the most annoying thing, especially when I knew, like, there were times where I would literally, like, if you guys remember, when I had my car, I would drive to our area, to our flat, And then I would stay there until God knows what time, some unrighteous time. And then I will drive straight back home to literally sleep for a few hours, then get up again after like 4 or 5 hours of sleeping, because I might get in at like 3 o'clock in the morning, only for me to come back out again and to drive back. Like, but it was all sacrifice, guys. It was all sacrifice, because we were not going to compromise on that area. When it came to moving in together and all that stuff, we refused to compromise until we got married. So, and I'm so glad that we did. It was really worth the wait, and I feel like we have had nothing but blessings come our way. You know, not that we do things purely for reward, but you know, we were very, very intentional about how we wanted to go into this marriage. We were very intentional about doing it the right way, and you know, it does pay. It does pay, guys. So it's been amazing, but that's the only difference. Next one, how have we been? We miss you and Wake Up Wednesdays. Thank you so much. Do not worry. As soon as I finish this, get ready with me. I am recording 2 Wake Up Wednesdays so that they can be ready to go for this Wednesday. So yeah, don't even worry about it. But I just appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the fact that you guys actually value my work, because sometimes it can be disheartening, guys, but you guys actually value my work and you value what I do, and I'm grateful and I'm happy that I can be of service. Someone said, when do you hope to start having kids? I knew this question was going to come up at some point. I knew the question could not be avoided. Guys, we'll have kids. Oh, Jesus is Lord. I don't know what I just added on my top eyelid, but it's okay, because we're going to fix it. We are going to fix that. We are going to start having kids when we start having them, guys. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, because I know that this question is probably even going to come up a couple of times in this Q&A. I'm sure other people have asked it as well. But people always seem to think that that's the way that it goes. Like, it's like you go from, you go to school, you go to uni, you graduate, you have kids. You graduate, you get married, you get the house, you have kids, or vice versa. And guys, life doesn't necessarily work like that, you know? Please just know that we'll have kids when we have kids. But for now, we're just enjoying ourselves. We literally got married, guys. I've only been married for like 2-3 weeks. So please just bear with us, you know? Bear with us. Let us have a moment. Oh, this looks scary. I'm not doing a great job at this. So someone said, very interesting question. So someone said, is in your perspective on sex, is your perspective on sex different? Oh, is your perspective on sex different now that you're married? Absolutely not. Perspective is still the same. So as you know, we were abstaining while we were dating. Yes, it was a hard process. It was extremely difficult, but my perspective has not changed. I am so happy and so glad that we waited. Let me just tell you, it was worth the wait. Oh my gosh, I just realized that my siblings and stuff are gonna watch this, which is, yeah. All I can say to you is, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this eyeshadow, and I don't know why it's not coming out right, but again, like I said before, the level of intimacy you develop with somebody when you remove that and you remove other things like living together and all that kind of stuff. Not that you can't be intimate. Listen, people, will say whatever they want to say. But I just think that the level of intimacy is so different, because you have to form a bond that cannot rely on those very, very key, by the way, things. Those are very key things, right? For building intimacy with somebody. And when you are unable to do those things, you just have to become intimate in other ways. And honestly speaking, by the way, guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing a look and I'm gonna see how it goes. My perspective hasn't changed. I wouldn't have changed it even an inkling. I'm glad that we waited to move in together. I'm glad that we waited to, to be intimate in that way. I am very, very glad. And just know I'm having a good time. Someone said, how do you balance it all? Life, work, and now marriage. Honestly speaking, people have asked me this question for years, and I just think it's quite simple. Number one, the grace of God. You guys already know that my faith is it's not even a big, it's a huge part to me to where I'm at, to my journey, to how I survive, how I make things happen. My faith is a huge, huge part of that. And if not for the grace of God, I would not be able to do all that I do, you know, to be able to be in a place whereby I can, you know, work for myself, get married, do all the different things that I've done even over the last few months, even in the midst of a pandemic. I can only thank God. People might think it's me, oh my gosh, well done you, but no, seriously, God is the one that has enabled me to be able to do these things, enabled us, you know, myself and Ben, to be able to do these things. But also just another thing as well is just prioritizing. A lot of people don't seem able to, number one, prioritize and to stay motivated, which I know is a difficult thing for all of us. I'm not motivated every single day, but knowing that there's certain goals and ambitions and aspirations that I have that push me beyond my tiredness, that push me beyond my laziness. You have to have huge goals, you know, not so big that they just scare you and make you paralyzed. In fact, no, your goals should scare you, but your goals should be there to also push you and to wake you up in the morning and to say, hey, you can't stay in bed all day. You have to be able to, you know, you have to get up. You've got things to do. You've got to get closer to your dreams and your aspirations. I mean, that's how I'm able to balance everything, because I'm always thinking about how I can be the best at X, Y, and Z. You know, I want to be the best wife that I can be. I want to be the best, content creator that I can be. I want to be the best friend that I can be. I want to be the best presenter that I can be. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm always aiming and striving to be the best at it. And that requires work. It requires just getting things done. And it requires just prioritizing and being like, all right, cool. So, you know, today my focus is blah, 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 blah. This is what I'm going to do. And also one thing that I will say, which I mentioned in the video that I did with Ben, was the fact that, you know, I really did think in my mind, like, okay, as soon as I'm married, I'm going to get into the flow of everything. I'm just going to be able to get cracking, get it on, be able to make things happen. And that is not true. Guys, getting married is a big life milestone, and you need some time to adjust, for your schedules to adjust, the way that you guys, you know, are around each other to adjust, especially if you didn't live together prior to you getting married. Like, all of these things, I honestly thought I was just going to be back on it and get on with it and all that kind of stuff and just be able to balance everything. But it has taken me a good over 2 weeks. Like, today is the first day where I've really felt like, yes, I can do this. Like, I've got a structure, I've got a plan. Yesterday, I, you know, managed to do some work, and I also went through my to-do list and I wrote out a to-do list for today. And today's the first day where I've really felt like I'm in the flow now of like looking after a household, looking after my husband, making sure he's good. But thankfully, he's off doing his own thing as well, and I can take time to do what I'm doing also. So, you know, I don't really think that there's ever such thing as balance. There will never be. There will always be something that takes more priority than another, but it's just about writing things out, prioritizing, you know, things that need to be done in that moment or on that day or for that week, being organized as well, which is something that I talk about quite a lot, making sure that you are as organized as possible. Like, I write a to-do list every single day. I look at my calendar at the beginning of each week to see what I need to do across that week. And yeah, just making sure that I actually, too much powder. Just making sure that I'm you know, prepared for the week and I'm as organized as possible. That is what I would say helps me to balance everything out. And also, guys, I'm very grateful because I have an amazing husband. Like, Ben is not those types of men which I always feared my whole life, which is the type of men. My husband is not one of those people that's very like, or one of those men who expect you to do everything. So he doesn't expect me to do all of the cooking, all of the cleaning. Like, he cooks as well. He helps with the cleaning. In fact, he will clean, you know, majority of the place, and I will focus on just the kitchen and the living room, because I can't lie, my kitchen has to be spotless, like spick and span, like wiping down everything in there. Or vice versa. I will do the bathrooms. He'll do, like, we are very, very much in a partnership, and I love that because it gives me the space and the time to be able to do things for myself also, and have a bit more balance, as you might say, even though I still don't think that in life you can be balanced. There's just no such thing. Like, there's always going to be something that takes priority, something that's going on, and I've just learned to accept that. I think that's maybe an adulting thing. But this, by the way, is by Makeup Obsession, Dewy Makeup Fixing Spray. I'm just gonna... This is why it's important to know who you're going to marry and don't just get lost in the sauce, especially if you guys are doing, you know, the Don't get lost in the sauce, because we had these conversations. These were the types of conversations that we had prior. And a lot of people today don't like having conversations, guys. You know, you need to talk to that person, know what they're about. You know, that person could... You have one conversation with them and you could realize that actually this person's not the person for me to marry because they don't believe in men cooking. That could be a deal breaker for you. But because you were too busy doing the you got lost in the sauce, and then now all of a sudden you've married this person, and then now you're wondering why you're doing everything by yourself. Nobody has time for that. I remember I quite literally, you know, we had conversations before. We had loads of conversations where we talked about everything. We still do. We talk, even when we're upset about stuff, we analyze. We're very analytical. So sorry guys, my battery died. But yeah, one of my biggest fears, I remember saying to Ben, was, you know, getting married and then losing myself, you know, not having something of my own, because I've seen it too many times. Excuse me, I've seen it too many times where women will get married, and, you know, even family members, I've seen it happen where women will get married and they will be they'll have so much going on for themselves. Then they get married and all of a sudden they become, not that there's anything wrong with it, but they just become a wife. And now I use that just very, very lightly, because if your dream has always been to be a wife and a mum and that's it, listen, go you get to choose what lifestyle you want. But for me personally, that's always been something I've been so fearful of, you know, getting married and then all of a sudden losing myself, or having a husband who doesn't believe in his woman, you know, doing her own thing, or someone that's quite controlling, or that says like, you know, I expect, i.e. blah, 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 blah. So for example, if I'm also working, you have to have balance in your relationship. In the sense, I know that says balance doesn't really exist. It doesn't really actually, you know, it really, really doesn't. But in the sense that, you know, we're both working, we're both hustling, we're both doing our thing. So it can't be that I'm always the one cooking. It doesn't make any sense, or vice versa, or that he's always the one cleaning. It doesn't make any sense. And some people, they don't have conversations beforehand, and then they realize that they married someone who just... Yeah, literally they wanted them to get married, to have their babies, and to stay at home. And like I said before, if that's the lifestyle you want, absolutely go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But for me personally, that's just not the life that I knew that I wanted to live. I have always known that I'm a worker, I'm a hustler. I like to be creative. I don't like to feel like I'm not adding anything. If I feel like I'm not adding anything somewhere, I have to leave. Like I would never, for example, stay in a job that I felt like I wasn't adding anything to that job. Impossible. It just wouldn't work, because I'll just be feeling like, what am I doing here? What's the point? What's the point of me being here? So yeah, I don't even know how I ended up going into that tangent, but I do apologize, guys. I was doing so well. Oh yeah, so this is a good question. Is there anything new you've learned about Ben now that you live together? That is a really, really good question. In fact, let me put my lashes on so that I can actually answer the question. Honestly, that he's an even more amazing man than I even thought that he was. I have always known Ben to be such an incredible man. He is a blessing. Like, when I say to you, he is an anomaly, guys. Like, he has been consistent for 4 years. He has not played with me for 4 years. He has not, you know, embarrassed me. He has always put me as a priority. He has never made me feel less than or smaller than, or he's always made sure that I was a priority in his life for 4 whole years. And this guy has just revealed to me what an incredible man he is. And being married to him just shows it more, in all honesty. And I know, of course, we're at the beginning of our, you know, marriage. People might be looking at me like, Nissy, just wait when you get like, you know, 5 years in or 10 years in. But if I can take the past 4 years as an example, or as anything, and the next 4, 12, 30, 40, 50 years are like anything like the past 4 years, I'll take it. I'm not saying that we're perfect. I'm not saying that things have been perfect, but I will take that. If the next 4 years or the next, however many years that we're together is anything like the past 4 years that we've already had, yeah, I'm willing, very, very, very much willing to take it and to accept it, because Ben is an incredible man, and yeah, I love him to bits. So next question, as I pop on my high lash, which is, which do you think is best to start with, medical insurance or life insurance? So just in case you haven't heard, in the life update, I did explain it in a bit more detail, but ultimately your girl has also, even in the midst of planning a wedding, even in the midst of a whole pandemic, we in a pandemic, honey, your girl went and decided to go and qualify to become a financial advisor. You might be thinking, Nissy, what the actual hell? Where did you find the time? Listen, when you want to do something bad enough, you will make the time, okay? That's just a fact. I made the time. I did my training, went through tests and stuff, and I qualified. I'm now a qualified financial advisor alongside Ben. So of course, Ben has been a financial advisor for a good few years now. He has been killing it in the industry, and he's been blessing a hell of a lot of families and a hell of a lot of people. I've seen what he's done over the years, and I literally just was inspired, and just because of some life events as well that also happened in my own personal life, I saw the importance of it, and I saw the beauty of what he's basically doing. And so I decided that I wanted to join his team and to join his business, and which is exactly what I have decided to do. So I'm now a qualified financial advisor, and I specialize in things like insurance, life insurance, and critical illness. Making sure that you have policies in place to just protect you. And no, you are not too young to get it. The younger you are, the better, because it means you get a cheaper policy for a bigger payout. The younger, the better. And as long as you are 18 plus and living in the United Kingdom, so that includes England, Wales, I think Scotland as well, and also Northern Ireland. I think those are the only, or not Northern Ireland. I have to double check that. But yeah, as long as you are in that space, you can get a free consultation with myself. I do them obviously over Zoom or even on the phone, whatever it is, free consultation, ready to go, and to give you the best advice that you can put things in place to protect yourself, to protect your family, to protect your children, your parents. Because guys, listen, let's just, I'll say it over and over again, but death is the one thing that's guaranteed, okay? It's the one thing that's guaranteed. But a lot of people don't prepare for it. And then imagine, even in your own death, you're a burden to your family. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what we need. We need people who are going to think about their future. If not their future, their family's future, their children's future, and just to put things in place. So yeah, make sure you hit me up. And just to answer your question, hit me up, girlfriend, okay? Hit me up via DM or drop me a message or whatever it is, and we can have a consultation where I can, talk to you properly about some of the questions that you have. Check it out. I'm now a financial advisor, baby. Yes, I is. Alrighty. Okay, so I just thought I'd take out the time to pop on these lashes. But yeah, let me answer another question. I'll do a couple more. So someone said, where outside London did you and Ben move to? You're bloody nosy, aren't you? Like I'm gonna answer that. Just know that we moved outside of London, all right? Bloody nosy, bloody hell. Being married, what things are you still trying to get used to? For me, was waking up to a man in my bed, 100%. I said it before, it literally, was just the weirdest thing ever. Knowing that I woke up in the morning, now I'm used to it and now I love it. Like now I wake up, I just love getting my cuddles in the morning and knowing that I'm next to literally someone that I actually like, because you realize at some point that damn, I actually have to live with this person for the rest of my life. But I absolutely love it. I think, the things that I'm getting used to is literally just still getting into that routine of that flow, that really intertwined flow, knowing that he's got stuff going on, I've got stuff going on, but still making sure I'm prioritizing my husband, looking after him, making sure his needs are met. But again, like I said, I have such an incredible husband because I feel like every single one of my needs is met, because he makes sure that my needs are also met as well. And we also look after ourselves too. So guys, I just feel blessed. All right. Someone asked a question that, guys, is gonna require an entire video on its own, which says, how was the whole planning a wedding during the pandemic? Let me tell you right now and tell you for free, it was an absolute nightmare. Things kept changing left, right, and center. We weren't sure. It was like being anxious 24/7. Okay, I wasn't anxious 24/7, but it was a lot. That one, I'm gonna do a whole entire video completely separate, just so that I can answer that question, because boy, let me even screenshot it so I don't lose it or whatever, but boy, it was a lot, but it was so worth it. It was so worth the stress, the strain, the frustration, the annoyance, the kind of like disagreements that we had. It was stressful, but it was worth it. But yeah, just expect a whole video on that one. How do you know that someone's right for you? Like, how do you know he's the one? I've had this question so many times, and I'm gonna answer it in a very, very simple way. You just know. And that probably is horrible, because I'm sure people say it all the time, but trust me, you know when someone is for you in your heart of hearts. And to be fair, the biggest thing that I would say that reveals if that person is for you or not is that you feel peace. I have not felt this level of peace in any other relationship that I've been in. None, not one. There's not been one relationship where I've felt, not to say that things are going to be perfect. This is very important, okay? I want people to take note of this. I'm not saying that your relationship is going to be perfect. I'm not saying that you will never argue. I'm not saying that he won't piss you off. I'm not saying that you won't piss him off. I'm not saying that it means that everything is always going to be rosy and gold and rose tinted and whatever all the time. That is for fairy tales, and fairy tales are not real, okay? Let's just get that right. What I am saying though is that you literally don't have to think too hard about being yourself, or you don't have to think too hard about whether or not that person loves you. You just know, because of their words, their actions, the way that they've been, their consistency. You just know. If that person does not give you peace, like you get anxiety or you get frustrated or you just feel like something is just not right, every time you're always questioning, like, do they love me? You want to check his phone, you want to check her phone, you want to do this, you want to do that, forget it. Let it go, because you will live your whole entire life not at peace. And who wants to live like that? But if you can genuinely say, like me, I don't go through Ben's phone. I don't have to. I can if I want to. I mean, we both have access to each other's phones, each other's passwords, whatever. He leaves his phone all the time. I leave my phone all the time. If we want to go through each other's phones, we can, but we don't, because there's a trust there, and there's nothing for me to hide. I have something too good for me to now go and ruin it for some shakara guy over there. And I sure know damn well that he has something way too good for him to go and mess it up with some shakara girl over there. So it's just trust, it's just peace. I think those are the two things, when you have trust and you have peace in your relationship, and you just know that you could literally trust this person with your life. Like, I could trust Ben with my entire life. I could let everything go, obviously bar God, but let everything go and trust him to make sure that things were still in order. Trust him to never lead me down a wrong path. Trust him to always have my best interest at heart. That is when you know someone's the one for you. Oh, honey, we are looking cute, hey. I'm so dumb. Okay, you know, one of the ones where your husband texts you. Anyway, so this is the final look. I just straightened my hair as well because my hair was looking jacked up, but look at it. It looks sleek, it looks soft, it looks good. I was even gonna put some hair serum in it, and then I just looked at it and I was like, I don't even think I even need hair serum. I don't think I need anything on here. So it is all good. Of course, my hair is done by the one and only Yema from the Trap House Salon. Listen, she's the only person I let touch my hair because she's the best of the best. And yeah, I found my hair person. I'm not going to anybody else. So just so that, and also, by the way, because I know someone's going to ask me about the lip combination. So obviously did it off camera just so I could finish up because I feel like this video is becoming long. It is the eye pencil, which I use as a lip pencil as well, by NYX in the color medium brown. It's only because they didn't have espresso lip pencil. And then I also used this matte lipstick by Primark. It's from Primark actually, in the color Sunkissed. So this is what it looks like. And then I went over it with the Kiko Lips 3D Hydra Lip Gloss, which is the best lip gloss in the entire world, which I live for, I love, and I think it's just amazing, in the shade 19. I have like 3 of them, literally just looking at me right now. I went and just did like a random, just like a bit of a spree of them. I love them. I've got it in 20, 19, 19. Yeah, 19 is my favorite shade. 20 is a bit darker. But that is the lip combo that I have on right now. I'm gonna answer maybe 1 or 2 more questions just because. When are you posting your wedding day on YouTube? It is coming very, very soon. The video itself is not yet ready. I literally spoke to my friend Enoch, who is actually the guy who is the, I think, co-founder of their company Optimized Visuals, who are the people that actually captured our wedding day. And he was basically just updating me saying that the highlight video is nearly done and I should have it by the end of the week. And then which I'm sure by the time you watch this, you probably would have seen it already. If not, it's coming soon. And then the full video is going to be coming very soon as well. So just be patient, guys, be patient, but it is coming. Someone said, abstinence done. Is there, and then they put like a smirky face, is there a shift in your relationship, and was the first time awkward? Do you know what? I think we're gonna save that for a whole video, because I think it's actually important, especially for Christians, to have open conversations about sex. It's not something that we talk about often, and I think it's very, very important, especially today where the whole world is telling you have sex, have sex, have sex, have sex. I think it's really, really important to have these conversations. So I think I'll probably have to sit down with Ben and talk about that one. So let me go for a question that I can actually answer, but that will definitely be answered for real, for real. What morals and values will you still carry or adopt from your parents' household? So obviously I spoke earlier about what I'm doing differently, but one thing that I would say about carrying and adopting from my parents' household into my marital household is just the level of connection that we have. Like, we're very, very close, and we talk, and we try anyway as much as we can. We're human, we don't get it right all the time, but we definitely try to communicate as much as possible, and just having that oneness. And I feel like you guys have seen the way I am with my sisters. I mean, my siblings are my heartbeats. They're my hearts. Like, I would do anything for them. And I think that exact same mentality, I'm carrying it over here, where it's like, we're one, we're a unit, we do things together, and we just need to have a laugh and have a good time together as well, because life is too serious on its own. So I would say that. Guys, I am so sorry I could not answer all of your questions, but there were just so many. I promise you I will be doing Q&As a lot more. I'll be doing them more often, just so that you guys can get up to date with what's going on and me answering the questions that you actually want to get a response to. But thank you so much for sending in every single one of them. I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and you can see that the look came together. Your girl's makeup skills is actually improving. Like, that's one thing I can say. It's improving, and I hope you guys can just, just appreciate the fact that I've been working hard to bring the beauty, bring the makeups together for you. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget, of course, to like, to subscribe. It takes 2.5 seconds, just that red button that's just underneath there. Subscribe, and of course to share, and make sure you hit that bell button so you're notified every single time I post a brand new video. I'm super excited, guys. I'm a married woman. I have a new space. There's so much going on, so just keep an eye out, because there's a lot more content coming. Okay, make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you again soon. Stay beautiful.